Private equity often gets a bad reputation. Critics question if it really works and if it truly adds value. We often see headlines in the media such as private equity firms slash jobs, increase debt in struggling companies. Private equity is out of control and looting America. Or how the Business Insider reported recently, Wall Street's most vicious vultures are about to get torn to shreds. What if I told you that a lot of that performance can be attributed to a dedicated team within these firms whose sole mission is to drive growth and efficiency? Meet the operating partners and the value creation team in private equity. In this video, we are going to reveal how these behind-the-scenes experts play a crucial role in transforming businesses and delivering tangible results. Stick around to find out how private equity really works from the inside out. Intro. Let's start with the most obvious first role value creation teams do when they acquire a business. Capital structure optimization. It sounds complex, right? Let's break it down. When a private equity firm steps in, they don't just throw money at the company. They carefully rework its financial setup to reduce costs and increase flexibility. Imagine refinancing your home loan to get a better interest rate. It's the same concept, just on a massive and corporate scale. Another trick up their sleeves is forging relationships with banks that offer better terms and conditions. It's like getting a loan from a bank that really wants to see you succeed. Take Blackstone's acquisition of Refinitiv in 2018 for $20 billion, using $13.5 billion of debt. They didn't simply buy a majority stake in the former Thomson Reuters business. They restructured Refinitiv's debt, getting better terms and optimized its capital structure. This savvy move cut down the company's cost of capital, giving it more room to grow and improve operations. And guess what? It paid off big time. Less than a year later, in 2019, Refinitiv was sold to the LSE for $27 billion. You can do the math, but they made more than 2x on that cash in less than a year. Next, we have working capital management. This might sound a bit dry, but it's all about optimizing a company's day-to-day finances to improve cash flow. And believe me, this can make a massive difference. First off, optimizing inventory. It's much like your local grocery store. Always having exactly what you need without overstocking and wasting money on excess inventory. That's pretty much what private equity firms aim for. They make sure the company has the right amount of stock at the right time. Not less and not more. The next area in working capital management is streamlining receivables and payables. The value creation team often streamlines receivables and payables. This means making sure the company gets paid faster and handles its expenses in the most efficient way possible. Imagine getting your paycheck a few days earlier and having more time to pay your bills by renegotiating payment terms with suppliers and service providers. You get the idea, right? These levers improve the company's cash flow, so it's more stable and can invest in growth opportunities. During my time in private equity, I had weekly calls with the finance team on each of these items. And while I was part of the investment team at the fund, many funds have either somebody from the investment team helping on that or a dedicated value creation person working on working capital management as a function and across the whole portfolio of companies. Now, as an example, take a look at KKR and the acquisition of Pets at Home in 2019. KKR proactively implemented strategies to optimize inventory management, streamline receivables, and improve payable processes. This resulted in enhanced cash flow, reduced inventory holding costs, and improved overall liquidity. Ultimately, Pets at Home was in a far better position to achieve sustainable growth, making it stronger and more resilient. Now, if you learned something from this video already, and if you're still watching this, please leave a yes in the comment section below. Now, in the third position, you have governance. When private equity steps in, they often make a significant change to the company's board of directors. The aim is to bring in experts who know the industry inside out. Oftentimes, it's bringing in a senior operating partner from the industry and add that person to the board. Operating partners bring a whole host of knowledge and operational expertise from the industry of that portfolio company. Setting goals is easy. Achieving them, not so much. Operating partners and directors appointed by the fund set ambitious yet realistic goals and ensure the management team meets them. Let's look at an example. Take Thoma Bravo's acquisition of Instructure in 2020. They made sure they added the right people to the board with strategic insights and operational know-how that Instructure needed to thrive. The next role a value creation team plays is talent management and leadership. Talent management and leadership is what transforms a good company into a great one. Think of a company like a sports team. To win, you need star players and an exceptional coach. Value creation teams around talent excel at finding these star players who can lead the company to new heights. In April 2018, Catterton, a leading consumer-focused private equity firm, made a significant investment in Peloton, a company specializing in connected fitness products and services. You might know that from the coronavirus time. Recognized the need for stronger leadership. They helped Peloton bring in top-notch executives. William Lynch was brought on as president, and Jill Woodworth came as a CFO. They also recruited senior leaders in marketing, supply chain, and technology. The result was remarkable. Peloton scaled its operation efficiently, enhanced its product offerings, and expanded its market reach. This new leadership team guided the company through its IPO in September 2019. Even when the pandemic hit, they were ready. They kept Peloton growing and maintained high customer engagement throughout. Next, we have marketing effectiveness. A successful company creates value not just for the company, but for the customers as well. This is where marketing effectiveness comes in. In the world of private equity, this often means taking a comprehensive, data-driven approach to make sure every marketing dollar is spent well and is really attributed to the right source. Now, as part of attribution, a key part is to understand which marketing effort is driving what type of result. To do this, you need to track your progress really in detail. Value creation personnel around marketing effectiveness or a dedicated marketing expert parachuted into the company can implement sophisticated attribution models to pinpoint which campaigns are working and which are not. The other area around marketing effectiveness is growth strategies. The other key aspect is developing and executing strategies for organic growth. This could involve expanding into new markets, developing new products, or enhancing existing offers. Let's look into an example. When Blackstone took over Hilton worldwide, the hotel chain, they dove headfirst into digital marketing and gave the company's loyalty programs a major facelift. Their aim was to create an engaging, seamless experience that made guests want to come back again and again. Now, for both attribution and growth strategies, oftentimes a private equity firm also works with a dedicated growth consulting firm like NUOPTIMA. NUOPTIMA works with several portfolio companies of private equity firms, including Carlyle, one of the largest private equity firms globally. Now, next, on position 6, we have pricing optimization. Setting the right price can make or break product success. Too high and you risk losing customers. Too low and you might sell more but miss out on the potential profit, and your margin goes to, zero, very little. So by leveraging data and market insights, private equity firms employ pricing optimization to find that sweet spot where customers feel they're getting value and the company is making a healthy profit. Oftentimes, private equity works with an operating partner here who has 20 years of experience in pricing strategies, and that's where a role also of an operating partner comes in. Now, consider the case of Advent International and Lululemon, one of the best yoga or running attire you have out there. When the firm got involved with athletic apparel giant, they didn't rely on intuition for setting prices. They took a deep dive into understanding customer behavior, competitive pricing, and industry trends to help Lululemon refine its pricing strategy. And that was in line with customer expectations and market demands. The aftermath was improved profit margins and robust revenue growth. Customers felt they were getting good value for their money, which strengthened Lululemon's competitive position in the market. Now, another big area where the value creation team plays a really big role is business development. Business development is something PE funds really put a lot of effort in. Even the smallest private equity funds try to help you getting new business by supporting your salespeople with introductions and additional support. This can be done by having somebody from the private equity fund dedicated a day, a week to the work stream, or an operating partner with a network from the industry being allocated to you who opens his kimono of contacts and can help shorten sales cycles and get you introductions into the boardroom directly. If you look at TPG Capital's investment in Spotify back in 2015, TPG played a crucial role in negotiating key partnerships with major music labels and artists. This strategy attracted millions of new subscribers, significantly boosting its market share, and it solidified Spotify's position as a leading music streaming service globally, resulting in successful direct listing on the New York Stock Exchange in 2018, and the rest is history. Now, the next one is data and analytics. Value creation teams know that in order for a company to succeed in today's digital age, it no longer is enough to keep up with the times. It needs to stay ahead of the curve. How? By harnessing the power of big data and advanced analytics. Private equity funds love to buy businesses with outdated systems so they can create more value. Oftentimes, these businesses could not afford data scientists, and oftentimes there's no expertise inside a business to even get the idea to get somebody in with that skill set. Many private equity funds have now data science teams which are being parachuted into the business for a couple of weeks or months to get more insights from the data the business has, be it around customer insights or the new product development and market trends insights, or the operational efficiency in cutting costs and basically accumulating and dissecting all the data that business has. For instance, when Silver Lake Partners teamed up with Dell to execute a comprehensive digital transformation strategy, at the forefront of their strategy was the cutting-edge data science workstream to streamline operations and gather deeper customer insights. By the way, on more of the value creation playbook and how private equity funds get that 3 times money on money return in the 20% plus IRR, please check out my successful video, 8 private equity value creation strategies after they buy your business, in the link below, in the description, and please like this video as well, of course. A really frequent value add strategy is buy and build. It involves identifying and executing on potential acquisitions to create value for the business. Value creation teams play a big role in that, often in combination with the investment team at the private equity fund. In a nutshell, buy and build is when a fund acquires a smaller company in the same industry where the other business they acquired previously is already. Let's call the previous business the platform, and the fund identifies smaller targets which strategically would fit well with the platform business to increase revenue via the acquisitions, i.e. inorganic growth, and also create more synergies by potentially cutting some of the personnel in the acquisition in the company they're acquiring. And given the existing team and the platform business has already some of these functions, they don't need that additional workforce. So that creates synergies. And on top of that, you can pay smaller multiple to acquire smaller businesses, but when you combine it at the bigger platform business, you actually value the platform business at the bigger multiple. So there you create that kind of multiple arbitrage value add as well. This buy and build strategy is very accretive to the business. Other benefits also include expanding product offerings and capturing more market share, gaining immediate access to new customers and distribution channels without having to start from scratch. A prime example of a successful buy and build strategy is Vista Equity Partners and their work with Marketo. Vista acquired a marketing automation software provider and pursued several strategic acquisitions to enhance its product offerings and expand its market reach. This move resulted in an impressive increase in Marketo's value, culminating its acquisition by Adobe for a staggering $4.75 billion. Before I cover my last point, please hit that like button down below. Now, last but not least, exit planning. Exit planning is the final stage where all the hard work pays off and the portfolio company is sold at the right time under the best possible conditions to maximize returns for the fund and of course for the management team. So let's take a closer look at how it actually works. Now, preparing for the sale. This means fine-tuning every aspect of the portfolio company's operations, financials, strategic positioning to make it attractive as possible to potential buyers, but also market timing. And this is about identifying the optimal time and market conditions for an exit when demand is high and supply is low. Private equity firms analyze market trends, economic conditions, and industry cycles to pinpoint the best exit window. Now, conversations with investment banks and other market participants play a very big role for that timing aspect. Now, buyer identification is part of the planning of an exit workstream. This steps involves finding and engaging with potential buyers who see the value in the company. It can include both strategic buyers, other companies in the same industry, for example, and financial buyers like other private equity firms. This is where the operating partner is really crucial and again can leverage the industry expertise and the industry connections. A great example is Apollo Global Management, the master of timing, especially when it comes to buying huge businesses in distressed situations and exiting them at a much better time in the economic cycle. When they acquired McGraw-Hill Education, they actively worked to optimize its operations, enhance its financial health, and strategically position it for a sale. All of the time, they kept a close eye on the market and exited it perfectly to a consortium led by Platinum Equity, but the timing was just perfect. So that brings us to the end of the 10 areas where value creation teams and operating partners play a role in private equity. After following a classic career in investment banking and private equity, I decided to launch NUOPTIMA. Today, NUOPTIMA is working with several private equity funds and venture capital funds where we help scale their businesses. We won multiple awards in the UK and the US for our work, and we work with companies backed by top funds such as Carlyle, Northzone, Lightspeed Ventures, and many, many more. If you enjoyed that episode, please hit that subscribe button so you can get insights into value creation on a weekly basis. Thank you for joining me on this journey. I'm Alexej and I will see you in the next episode.